Anyway, 31, and the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take vengeance on the Midianites, the children of Israel. Afterwards you shall gather to your people. Moses spoke to the people, saying, arm some of yourselves, let them go against the Midianites and take vengeance for the Lord on Midian. 4.
On
31.
of every tribe, 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall you send to war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. 4 and 5. Did I get 4 and 5? Who do you want?
I can go find my baby. In the church still. In the church still. You hear me, Cloudy? In the church still. Lord have mercy. I can see you.
I thought it was free.
Verse 4, chapter 31, verse 4 says, of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall you send to war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war.
So we got how many?
12,000.
And you're going to fight who? Midianites. Do you think the Midianites have just 12,000?
No, it's a nation.
You got it. So it's a nation. Remember I talked about that last week? So it is a nation. Oh, hold up, Lord, have mercy. Jesus. Father ain't even got his paper either.
Hey, 40 wax.
So we got 12,000 finna go fight a Midianite. Wouldn't that be rather discouraging? He's telling you to take 1,000 out of every tribe, and we're gonna go fight a nation of Midianites. I'm trying to get us to think like we think church folk. You know what I'm saying, church folk? Well, you know that ain't enough folks. Why you gonna be sending them people sending out there? My husband ain't going out there. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't getting killed out there. You know what I'm saying? This would be our thinking. When, remember who's speaking, who is giving this information to Moses? God. God is giving this information. So then, what has God been doing for them all along? What has he been trying to get them to understand all along?
He's in charge.
Yes, that he's in charge. Trust him. Trust him. So now you've got 12,000 to go fight a nation of people. It's called trust him. So you're going through trials and tribulations in life. It's called trust him. He can take you through it. But you're going to have to go through it. You can't go around it. He's going to take you through it. Why? Because it's a lesson that needs to be learned. Now we know, or you should be learning by now, that when trials and tribulations come your way, you don't run from the church, you run to the church. And the reason why you run to the church is because your wisdom should be saying now, Lord, it is a wreck. It is a mess that I'm in. It really is a mess that I'm in. But what I'm going to do, just like, and I don't speak for everybody in the church. I'm serious. Especially those that have been in this Old Testament class with me. You see how God has operated, how he has told them over and over, and shown them over and over to trust him. To trust him, no matter what. So I can't speak for the Sunday group that comes in and then you can't see them afterwards. But I'm speaking for, this is whether you know it or not, this is a lot of your core right here, whether you know it or not, yes.
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. I think that's why it's important for us to step up, because God wants to take us through some stuff. Aside from him, we're going to go through some stuff on our own. But God wants to take us through some stuff,
Got it.
which would grow us up.
Right, which would grow us up. And I like your statement because you're right. It's not some of us, it's all of us.
Amen.
We all have to grow up. And some say, but you know how old I am? Yes, I know how by numeric old you are, but spiritually, you still carry on childish days. You know, what's the statement I said to someone, and I truly mean it from now on. Somebody talks about something, I'm going through it. You know, I don't mean no harm, but did you know Claudia Steve talked about you? I just want you to know he threw you under the bus. What did he say? Well, I can tell you what he said. Wow, now you're a gossip. Now you are a gossip. No, I'm not. Because now I'm giving you a fact. This is what's happened. Well, why would you do that? You know that's going to create chaos. No. The chaos has already been created because of the gossip. So if he talked to me, then who else did he talk to? Or who else did she talk to? You hear me? You shouldn't say right. Who else did he talk to? So what do you do? So what did I do? I went to the source. Now the source does what? Now the source is going to go back and confront that person. See what I'm saying? That source is going to go back to that person and say, hey, you know, why you throw me under the bus like that? Well, what's this all about? I had a beautiful talk with someone today, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing and how this individual will not accept any gossip, will not put up with any gossip, don't bring it. You're going to get your feelings hurt. That man with a white t-shirt on. That's what I heard about. That man with a white t-shirt on. Okay? Don't bring it. He's not interested. He's not going to even entertain it. He walks completely away from it. I thought that was awesome. And I'd say, when we want the church to grow up, this is what we need to do, guys. We're about 10, 15 people here. That's all God needs. You just hear me? That's all he needs to turn the church around. No, we need more people. No. God says all I need is the committed. That's all I need is the committed. The committed will do my work. The committed will reach out and make the calls that are necessary. The committed will say, hey, you know, it's hot outside, but I want to move on. The committed will do that. This is what God is saying. He took 12 men. Hear me? He took 12 men. And then he sent them out, guys. Then he sent them out. They went walking. They went from house to house. Stop and think about it. And what did you do? And you have a church that came into existence. And it's in existence to this day. That's powerful. If you really stop and think about it. 12 men turned this world upside down. So I wonder what we got 12,000 here. So now I want to travel on. Okay, and then 6 says what?
And Moses sent them to war, 1,000 from each tribe. He sent them to war with the Phinehas, Excuse me? Okay. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, with the holy articles and the signal trumpets in his hand. And
Listen, remember we talked about that. What did he do? Listen what he's doing. He says what? He said, look at it. I said he did what? He's got 12, right? And then they went where? Did you hear me? What was my lesson on Sunday? Luke 18, 1 through 8. That widow did what? She kept on. She had an agenda. And I said, and I know some of you gave me that look when I said, did you know the text wasn't necessarily about the ideal of what? Of prayer. I said, but it was more about consistency. And how she was consistent, how she was determined to get what she wanted. So she prayed to God. And then she responded. God has told Moses what to do.
Amen.
And then send them. Now send them. But, and the beauty of it is, remember Phineas? Remember this guy? Y'all seen him finance or something.
That's the one who killed.
Phineas, but it's, what I just said, it's Phineas. So then, listen to this. But here's this guy that, why does he get to leave the army? Remember I told you that last week?
Because he stepped up.
He's proven.
Because how did he prove himself?
Killed the.
Killed the stand and he threw that javelin.
And he threw that javelin, and he threw it at the man that was causing it, and it went through a woman. And so where were they? What were they doing? You got it. So they were in a sexual relationship. So when he threw his spear, guess what? He killed the sin, is what he did. So he killed the sin. So now they're really strapped and bait because he killed the sin. We think about the others, but I can also think about how painful that must have been to have a spear run straight through you and through her. You know, and you would say, get off me. He can't get off you. You see what I'm saying? Because the spirit is in you and him. Can't get off you. So, right, and that's something, so you join together. You truly join together. And that's something, so you die together. But, yeah, they became one. But watch this. But doesn't it say that in 1 Corinthians the 6th chapter? If you unite yourself with a harlot, he says what? You become one. So there's your example. I told you. Old Testament relates to New Testament. So now you see, it's just what he said. You took this harlot, and guess what? You died with this harlot. You are one. So now we're going to press on and get to where we really need to go. So then, let's move on.
And they warred against the Midianites, just as the Lord commanded Moses, and they killed all the males.
And they killed who? All the males. So watch this. In a war, when you're in a war, what usually happens? Casualties, right? In a war, right?
Yes.
And it usually happens on both sides, right?
Yes.
But it's not happening here. It's just the Midianites are dying. Can you imagine you go to war? We're talking about a war, guys. This ain't no little big thing. We're talking about a nation which has much more than what you have coming at you. And yet everybody that comes at you, it's like you got a shield on you. It's like you're protected. So every time you throw a sword or whatever, or you swing your blade or whatever, these men don't even get hurt. This is what you got to see. They aren't even, your Israelites don't even get hurt. I believe me, in studying that, I thought that was deep. So what does it say? God says, trust him. God, watch this. He sent you to war. And now you take it back in today, where we need to be. We are to do what? Go out. And when we go out, what are we going to run into? Wolves and sheep's clothing. You're going to run into them. But you are protected. God is going to protect you. Watch this. In protecting you, I never forget it. That time we went out, some guy went out to me and said, brother, let me explain something to you. You want to go out and evangelize, but you got that gold chain on your neck, and if you're going to evangelize, then you shouldn't be wearing stuff like that. I said, then what should I wear? I said, then what should I wear? Well, you shouldn't be wearing that. He didn't know you were talking to the minister. But I just said, so what should I wear? He said, well, I said, oh, okay. I just thought you'd come like you are, who you are. I just thought that's where you come, and that's who I am. So you're telling me I should be somebody else? He said, no, brother. I said, that's okay, brother. God bless you, man. I understand. Then I gave him the card. When he looked at the card, as he was walking away, then he looked back. That's the minister on that picture. So I talked to the minister. Yeah, but I'm not going to say anything, because this is how stupid you can look. So you saying, meet your traditions. The way you pictured your minister. This is the way we should be. And that's not true. Then Jesus would have trouble. Because he came in a what? A robe and sandals. Stop and think about it. And he'd have trouble. Because they tell him, you ought to be shaming yourself. You're going to run around like some hippie. But you hear him saying? But you see him saying? That's why God is not interested in our external. He's interested in our internal. And I have to be careful with that statement. Because then someone would say, well, then, see, I can dress like any kind of way I want to dress. And see, we take things to the extreme. You write anything you can bite on, anything that you want to talk about negative, then you bring it up. And that's why I said we as saints should not be negative thinking nor negative talking people. Yes, God.
No, that's really scratching my head.
Okay. But that's why I said, you see how important that is? And really, in reality, what I should have done was what? Don't even entertain it. Just go home. Don't even entertain it. But I said, you know, I just want to hear you out. Because I'm hoping that you can see your ignorance. You see what I'm saying? I'm hoping you can see your ignorance. Because then you're saying it's about a certain attire that someone should wear. But anyway, what I wanted you to see was they went. First God told them. Then God told them to send them. And then they went. Yes.
So this verse 6 it says with the holy instruments.
Yeah, that's what we're going. That's where we're going.
Trumpets to blow in his hand.
That's right.
So that happened. Was that the call to war?
That's exactly what that is.
The trumpet was
That's the call. And watch this now. You got to what you said within the word Phinehas, the son of Eleazar the priest, with the holy articles. Who's carrying these instruments? See, Phinehas, he has a chance to be somebody. He has a chance to. God told him after he ran that spirit, after he threw that spirit, God told him. Because I've stated this because you really need to see it. And I told you, that's why I told you, hold on to the documents that's given to you so you can go back and research it. Because if you would went back to go research Phinehas, then you'd see Phinehas is no priest. But who's supposed to be holding the holy articles? Who? But who? You're right, but who?
The priest.
The priest. And here's who that has it. Phinehas. He's got them. He's not a priest and he's not nobody's son. So here he is. He's got these things. Oh, yeah. I think he is the son. Yes. Yeah. So that's what I said, right. So he is the son. But isn't that amazing? But he's not a priest. So here's an article. Remember what happened when the ark just moved a little bit and they reached there? Remember? And they weren't supposed to touch it because it's a holy article. And their result was what? Death. But God had made it special for him. God said, because he's done what I want him to do, what I've done is I'm going to show you, Eleazar, I'm going to show you, Moses, I'm going to show you. Why? Here's one that stood up. Here's one that says, no, I'm not going to allow this garbage to take place. Think something came place, saw Nativity today. Something took place Sunday. I'm not going to have it. Let's move on. I want soldiers. This is what I want in the church. I want soldiers. And soldiers to become responsible. You don't say to your sergeant, look at this is what I'm going to do. Okay? When we become soldiers for Christ, then we follow orders. God is a God of order. And last time I checked, when they did not do what God had asked them to do, did he not go and turn tables over? Well, you got to be crazy. Not only did he turn tables on, did he take one of the whips and start beating them out of the temple? So I've been thinking about it. God is a God order. And I said, this is what we have to understand. We have got to understand. When you come into the house of the Lord, there has to be order. When you are expected to be somewhere at a certain time, there are some exceptions to the rule. But when you are making a habit of why you can't be here and you are expected to be here, it's time to sit down and reevaluate this. It's time, you might well have to hurt somebody's feelings and say, I'm really sorry, I know you desire this, but in reality you don't desire it too much. Because if you desire it, then you be where you need to be. If you really desire it. But if you don't, so what you need brought to your attention is probably you don't desire this. So why would I want to burden you? Why would I want to set you up for hell? That's really what it is. Why would I want to set you up? Because you're disobedient. The law has been given. The rules and regulations have been given. Jamal gave them. I know he did. The rules have been given. So then, if this is when you schedule, then that's when you need to be there. It ain't nothing to talk about. Somebody said, you can't, we was talking about that because he said he's coming from Tues. And so, I'm coming farther than really all of you. I don't know about Jim, but I'm really coming farther than all of you. Stop and think about it. And so what do? I say, you got to get on the freeway. You got to think about traffic. You got to think about what if there's a detour. What if you come in and it takes you, the road you take, you can't take it. And what my wife would take, it's been a many times that I didn't call her and say, hey, you look like the 105 is shut down. You can't go. You're going to have to go around to come in. And I'm still here before all of you. You didn't even know I did. Hey, what? So you were late? Yeah, I was. Because where I would pull up around 7:30, I had to pull up around 8. Oh, did you catch it? You see what I'm talking about? It's when we desire, when we love the Lord, we stop excuses. Excuses won't get you into the kingdom. God don't want to hear your excuses. I would have let you in, but you're probably late when I blew the horn. But you see what I'm saying? So, Steve, getting back to your thought, the horns would be this. It is a call, and that is a call to war. Remember there are certain horns that blow, and one of them was to draw the priest's attention. So you draw the priest's attention, and then watch this. So you draw the priest's attention, which would be then Eleazar. And then what? Then you blow the other horn, blow the horn, and you have a different pitch. And it was for those that are of that war to go. I'm trying to get you to see something. If it's only 12,000 men going, we're talking about war. I'm strapping you up for war. I give my wife a kiss and tell her, bye. Because I may not come back home. Did you hear me? You can never remove the human factor out of people. So my kiss is a kiss of goodbye. Hey, I hope to see you again. But I don't know. Because after all, here's the Midianites, and they got a whole lot over there. But the Lord is sending only 12,000 of us out. You see what's going on? Tiffany, have we gotten to your question yet? I'm trying to get there.
No, I was just looking at where it said that the reference here to killing every man does not mean that every male citizen was killed. So I was trying to just understand, does that mean because maybe there were babies that were not in the war, because it said every male was killed.
Oh, yeah, and he's not, and then we're going to go farther. I'm so glad you said that, because this is where they were wrong.
Right.
See, this is where they're Yeah, because they kept the women
Oh.
and the children.
Got it.
See what I'm saying? Because they kept the women and children.
Okay.
So now, watch this. You're right. So you're there. So then watch this. Let's go on because they kept it. So 8 says what?
They killed the kings of Midian with the rest of those who were killed, Evi, Rechem, Sur, Or, and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian, Balaam, the son of Beor. They also killed with the sword. The children of Israel took the women of Midian captive with their little ones, and took as spoil all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods.
So they did what? They captured the women. Why would you capture the women? But you see what I'm saying? You kill all the men. No, that ain't no good question. You kill all the men, but you keep the women. Come on now.
Keep the women for yourself.
Yes. So watch this. You got it, but watch this. And here's what you didn't, so you all catch it. It says, and the children of Israel took the women of Midian captive with their little ones and took as spoils all their cattle. The problem is, the spoil is also the women. Did you hear me? Ain't just the cattle, but it's also the women. Now, understand this. What would that, if they are captive, then they are slaves. Right?
Children are going to work.
Well, the children are going to work, but the women are going to do what? You get that's about as straight as you get it. But that's about as straight as you get it. Yeah, they become concubines. That's what they become. Yeah, so that's why I didn't kill you, because you too fine. Yeah, so I'd have me 3 or 4 of you, because y'all fine. See what I'm saying? So I ain't killing nobody. None of the women I'm going to touch. That's what you got to see. That's the wrong. Now, what do you see? That's back in your 1 John 2:15. The lust of the, you hear me? The lust of the, you see what I'm saying? And that lust is just what that's caused them to become disobedient. That lust. I can't kill her unless you're too fine.
God said kill them all.
You kill them all. That's what he says. Kill them all. But you just killed all the males. See, you didn't, watch this. You took anybody that was a threat, any male that was a threat, you killed him. Yeah, that's where we're going. And that's where we're going. But I wanted you to see this because that is the issue. So what you, if anything, the men should have stayed. But you killed the men because it wasn't the men that was causing the problem. It's the women. So watch this. So we got the spoils, the cattle, keep going. So then we got what? Whose time is it?
They also burned with fire all the cities where they dwelt, and all their forts. And they took all the spoil and all the booty of man and beast.
That's everything. Come on.
Everything.
So 12.
Then they brought the captives, the booty and the spoil to Moses, to Eleazar the priest, and to the congregation of the children of Israel, to the camp in the plains of Moab, by the Jordan across from Jericho.
So you know, because somebody said the booties would be what?
Spoils.
That's one of them. Money. Yeah, that's what he means by that. Because in today's time, that actually relates to women.
Yeah.
But I'm serious, in today's time. So wait a minute, but I don't understand. He said women that got booty. I don't understand. Well, help me. What's going on? I thought the women were. You see what I'm saying? When it's really their goals or whatever they had that was precious, they took it. Because you see, he identifies women, then he says spoils, then he says booties. So then he's telling you it's all something different. But that's what I'm saying. Listen to the language, because this is why it is so important that we understand the scriptures. Because when we tie language, our language with their language, this don't make sense. See what I'm saying? When this is, watch this, when it's their language, it makes all the sense in the world. It's called misinterpretation. It's called when we have a preconcept. You've heard me say that for quite some time now. But that is true. When you have a preconcept of what the scriptures mean, that's when you struggle. When you get rid of your preconcepts, and now it's called pull the Bible dictionary, pull the vines, pull something that I can understand their terminology, because my preconcept said woman. When this is not woman, because he's already talked about women being captive. So this is not this. So I even understand, what do you mean by motives? Now I know that what you're talking about is what they owned. So you want to take everything. Remember, when the Israelites left Egypt, didn't they take all the spoils and the booties with them? Remember that? The Israelites, when they left Egypt, you know, they left, watch this, when they started, they were poor. When they left, they were rich. Every last one of them was rich. Everybody was to go in and to the Egyptians and request. And watch this, they didn't even have to request. They were giving it to them because they wanted them to leave. Yeah. Just go. Take it all. Just go, don't come back. So the Israelites didn't come out of Egypt broke. They came out of Egypt wealthy. And now we've got a situation. They're going into the promised land. How? Wealthy. See that? They're going to go into the promised land wealthy. See what's going on? See how God is working this? Still taking care of his people. Still providing for his people. If you, watch this, if you had any fear, then you should have been in that war. So those that he took were men of the 1,000, would be men that would do what? Would fight, would volunteer. Yes, I'll go, yeah. Hey, yeah, let's take me. I said, we had to, in our days, we had to come up with a draft. Remember that? We had a draft where when you were at a certain age, or when you reached 18, and then you had that lottery, right? And that lottery number, whenever it popped up, that was you. And you didn't have to say, well, you know, I ain't going. No, you got that knock on the door that said, it's time to go. Right. And that officer pulled up at your house and said, let's go. Or you were wise enough to know that was your number and said, let me get in there, let me go and get in there and do what I need to do. And so many of men did not come back that had that lottery number. Okay? Nowadays you volunteer. Nowadays you got you got people that are volunteering. And what I've heard, when it comes down to certain services, Jim, you have to catch me on this one, certain services, that I remember, what's his name? Dwayne's son. Jeremy. I remember he was flunking it 2 or 3 times. Remember? Trying to get in. So it ain't just you get to just walk in. You got to pass a course to get into that. Then we were told by, me and my wife was told, when Terrell went in, that it was harder than you would go through regular school. Remember that? Said it's harder than you go through regular school. So for him to sit down, he had to go do all of this and to finally be accepted by the Navy. I think it's the Navy and the Air Force, the hardest. Am I right? That's what I want to make sure. And because of what you have to, the work that you have to prove yourself, or to, you can't go to the Navy dumb. You can't go to the Air Force dumb. You can't get into those two. The Marines, yeah. And the Army, yeah. And hear me now, I ain't talking about dumb. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
No, they dumb.
Yes, what do you say, CIA?
They dumb.
So that you go in, because if you stop and think about it, would not want, why would I want somebody that you're trying to show them the pin or trying to show them the safety and how they need to do the safety and you still got to re-explain it over and over and over again. You see what I'm saying?
You still have to pass the test too, though.
Yes, you got to pass that test. So you pass that test, and then they will allow you to come in. Then they give you a certain time to be with your post, and then they finally send you off. But anyway, I wanted you to see that because here they are. They got all the stuff. So now let's move on. So then we're at where? 13 or 12?
Yeah, 13.
I thought it was 13. 13 says,
Moses, Eleazar, the priest, and all the leaders of the community went out to meet them outside the camp. But Moses was furious with the officers of the army, the commanders over thousands and commanders over hundreds, who had come from the service in the Lord.
wait a minute, 15?
And Moses said to them, have you kept all the women alive?
So you see what's going on?
Yeah.
So they're not coming back 12,000. You see what I'm saying? This could be triple. Because you're coming back with women and children. You see what I'm saying? All of this is going to go into the promised land. Does God want us in the promised land? Well, remember, your promised land is like what? Heaven. Remember? God doesn't want evil to go in there. And God is well aware of once they get into that land, there's more than Midianites are there.
Right.
So we only killed this group because this is the group that caused you to sin. So watch your Bible. It says what? 16 says something.
Look, these women caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to trespass against the Lord and the incident of Peor.
So now we've got these women. This is what I want you to see. What's going on with these women? Did I tell you Numbers 25?
Yeah.
Go back.
Ruler.
You got it. I just want to make sure it was 25.
Yeah, it's 25 working with those. 4 on the
6.
Okay. You got 6? Okay, go to, then you let everybody go back to 25. And then Calvin 6 says what?
And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brother the Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel who were weeping at the door at the time.
That's when it's 25:1.
Well, look at that. Well, that's what-
Look at 25:1. 25:1 says what?
And
Now
it's-
Israel remained in
Okay, so.
grew.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I won't get to that.
That brother in his group.
Okay. And the people began to commit harlotry with the woman of Moab. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods.
Now watch this. The Moabs, right?
Yeah.
So then, what they got to do with the Midianites? 6 says what? That's where you're at, Calvin.
And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brothers a Midianite woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of the congregation of the children of Israel who were weeping at the door at the tabernacle.
So what are the Moabs? What'd you say? That's what they are. That's what they are. That's why I wanted you to see that so you'll understand what's going on, because they say, well then why would he want to hurt this Midianite when it was the Moabs that did this? No. It was, by the way, they were sent. They were planted. They were told to go into the... See, Israelites, remember, they had already heard about the Israelites killing and destroying. They're on their way. And so what we need to do is we need to get the kings, we need to get all together, we need to go out and kill them. You can't kill them. You know what I mean? That gets out. What do you mean you can't kill them? No, they've got a God that's protecting them, so you can't kill them. So then, as we hear this more and more, you remember there was a guy by the name of Balaam. Remember? What did Balaam want to do? What did the king say to Balaam? He wanted Balaam to do what? Remember? What did he want him to do? Balaam was brought to the king to do what? To curse them. To curse them. Remember? He was brought so they would curse them. And curses really meant something then. Because if Balaam had cursed them, then the curse would fall upon them. But what did God say? Don't you dare curse them. Remember? They are my people. Remember? He made that clear as Balaam. And then he said, you will say what I say. Now those kings, it wasn't one king, those kings, when he went up to come to them to tell him what God had said, they didn't want to hear it. They didn't like it. As a matter of fact, they were upset. Balaam said what he had to say, but that didn't change Balaam. Balaam still had a business to run. Balaam was a what? A sorcerer. Yeah, like you said, divination. That's what Balaam was. And he was international. He wasn't no little lightweight. He was making some big change. Okay, big money off of his works. So we have a tendency to say, you know, that people can't do that. You know, I can't do this. And, you know, you go to the, what you call them, palm readers, and they can't do that. And you know what? And then, yes, they can. Yes, they can. You say, no, they can't. They're just like you have godly spirits, demonic spirits. Demonic spirits are there. That's why God wants you to have nothing to do with them. Because we have a tendency to say, you know, that man put his hand on that person and that person dropped dead. That ain't true. That's all fake. It's demonic. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's demonic. That can't be true. Yes, it is. It's demonic. When you're doing the work of Satan, you got it. But we say, no, that can't be, because I told you we as Christians have taken a lot of things lightly. And you don't take that lightly. That's why God tells you have nothing to do with it. Romans 16:17 tells you have nothing to do with it. Run. Stay away from it. Well, we got to look at this situation. I brought out of my camps, out of my Midianite camps, my nation, they're coming. And what are they coming for? To take your land. They're coming to take your land. God has sent them to take your land. You give your land. Do you give your house away to them? Do you just give it away? But you hear what I'm saying? You hear what I'm saying? You just walk this out. Yeah, hey, come on, take it. No. You do what? You fight. But watch this. But I can't fight because it's already said I'm going to lose. Remember, they've been conquering after conquering after conquering. So I'm going to lose. So what do I use? Boy, you call some of the wisest men together. And we've got to sit down at the drawing board and figure out what can we do. We can't beat them, so what can we do? What you say? So we join them. We send the women. I want you to impregnate my daughter. I want you to impregnate my wife. I want you, I'm trying to tell you this is how gross this can be. Why? Because it ain't about, well, I don't want to swim with my wife. It's about my life.
It's the Bible.
Yes,
It's not even gross when you think about it. Because
That's right.
when you think about back then, it's about survival.
it's survival. And she was just on slavery anyway. So, hey, look, you go on down there, watch this. I've seen the Israelite women because they have a dress code. I told you, God of order. It's a God of order. They don't run around with their boobs hanging out. Well, I'm sorry. You're Israelites. No, you don't. You have to be covered from what? You got it head to toe. And that man just, hey, that man, if he saw you, he didn't see much. Did you hear me? All he could see was that face. That's all he could see. And he made a decision, this is who I want. But stop and think about it. I want you to see this. I'm planning this. Now you got somebody that's got everything hanging out. What you think? And she ain't got to be fine. Do you hear me? Because lust of the shoot. I've been begging the wife every night, and this thing right here say, come on, let's go. Did you hear me? This thing ain't giving me no quarrels about let's get it on. This thing, watch this, we ain't got to have no strange drinks to get this thing to get it on. This thing said, come on, hey, I like you. Come on, let's go back over here. Let's go into your tent and get busy. This thing says, I'll do anything you want. Remember, their thinking doesn't have rules and regulations. Their thinking says, I get to do exactly what I want. Hey, I'm on a mission. By the way, for the most part, the Midianites that were sent were prostitutes and whores that were sent into that camp. Stop and think about it. I'll do anything you want, sir. Anything you want. And I'm going to call you you're going to be my husband. We're going to marry. And then watch this. And then I want to take you to, well, your God is boring. You can't even see your God. Stop and think about it. This is real. Because, let me show you my God. Did you hear me? I have a statue. I have something physical, tangible, that you can bow down to. That's why they call Baal. See that? So I have that. So, or Esther. So I have these things that you can bow down to. You tell us to bow down to who? An invisible God. Yeah, an invisible. Where is it? An invisible God. That's what you're telling me. So now I can do what? I've gotten you where I've laid with you. So you do anything you want to do now for me. So come on, I need to go to worship. And so that's why your 25:1 says that they also did what? Bow down. They went, that's worship, guys. Look at it. Look at it, 25:1. 25:1, look at it. He says what? 2. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods. And the people ate and bowed down to their gods. And so Israel was joined to Baal of Peor. See that? It says joined. So they're all connected now. See how crazy this is? Now, we got this, right? Now let's get on back over to 31. We got this. So we get on back over to 31.
You know, it's amazing. They knew not to mess with these women.
You better know it.
Yet they turn right back around and camp.
Students, watch this. We know we ain't got no business doing something.
Yeah, it's working.
And what do? We do it anyway. Then we don't want the consequences. But it's coming. But we don't want the consequences. So what do? Lord, have mercy on me. Please forgive me of my sins. God is saying, yes, I will forgive you. But there are consequences for that sin. Now here's what's deep. And I've said this to many a person person that think they didn't walk away and have lived an adulterous life and think they walked away. Sometimes it goes to the next generation. Sometimes it affects the next generation what you did. You hear me?
It's called generational curses.
That's it. I said, you got it. So now, so I wanted you to see that, because a lot of times we think, well, see, nothing happened to that. See, that person got old. See, that person died. Did nothing happen to him. And that joker wasn't worth the water. Yeah. Look at the next generation. Now look at that generation that's running around there that's crazy and crazy. That's all going through hell. And they can't figure out what in the world, what did I do? You did. It's a curse. The curse is falling upon the family. And now God is going after something Grandpa did. I'll give you a good example. Solomon did what? 1,000. Solomon of 1,000 did what? He served their gods. God, when He comes to you, read it yourself, it's in Samuel. When you read it yourself, you're going to see God comes to Solomon and He tells Solomon, you shall die in peace. But the kingdom shall be split. Huh? To us, okay, so the kingdom, as long as I die, the kingdom, so what? I'm going to be dead, so I don't have to worry about it. No. What He's trying to say, see, what you've done, your son Jehoshaphat, Jeroboam, not Jehoshaphat, but Jeroboam is going to split the kingdom. Right, Abner? He's going to split the kingdom. And how's he going to split the kingdom? It's very simple. He's a young man. And what is he going to do? He doesn't take advice from, man, y'all too old. I don't need no advice, because y'all, you don't know what time it is. I'm saying this because I want you to see something. You too old, y'all don't know what's going on, your worship is boring, it don't make sense, you're just too old. And so what do? They took counsel then from who? From the youth, right? From the youth. And in taking counsel from the youth, then you got a group called the Babylonians that came in and did what? The Assyrians that came in and did what? They split that kingdom. 10-2. Split it in two. Split it in two. Watch this. And this was already predicted that it was going to be split. This is what I said, when we study Old Testament, you can see what's going on, how God is at work. God, you thought you got by with your sins. You didn't get by with your sins. God's got to take care of her. What makes you so special that you want, Lord, get that person that did me wrong. Yeah, I got to get you too. Okay, not just that person, but I got to get you too. And in the eyesight of God, sin is what? Sin is what? A transgression against God. Sin is a transgression against God. Hear me, I said sin is a transgression. It's because we will say sin is sin. Now, some sins God punishes a little bit more. One of them is called what? Idol worship. The other one is called what? Well, that was never forgiven. But there's something that's going on that men has to still do today. And it's all, you hear it all the time. Satan says all I have is 3 things to work with. Lust of the what? So then it's called what? Adultery. Adultery, fornication. Those, when you start to study God's word more and more, you're going to always hear it's adultery. He puts away Israel. He puts her away, Jeremiah 8. He puts her away what? Adultery. He puts her away because she commits adultery. This is what you hear all the time when you start to swim. So it stands out. It is a sin that stands out that God says absolutely no. That's not going to happen. I do not want adultery to come in, watch us, into the camp. Well, I said all that because when we stop and think about it, look at what these women have done and how they have damaged the church. Then don't you see what gossip will do? You see how what did it do to the church? It doesn't build it up, it tears it down. When we don't show the commitment that we should for God, look what God does. I made this statement. God says He will add to the church daily, right? That which should be saved, right? But watch this. But God told us to go and make disciples. Watch this. But we don't. And look what you got. Did you hear me? But I thought God would add to the church. See, you've been told that 400 years when God is saying, you don't understand. You are the representatives down here. If you do something, watch, there are certain things you can actually do. You can bring people to mind, you can bring people to church. Watch this. You won't be able to identify the wheat from the tare. You won't be able to identify it. I didn't tell you to identify it. I told you to bring it. That's all I told you to do. I said, people that have come in, I've talked to one recently that I talked to. Don't feel like we feel. It's not for me to call you Terry. Hear me? It's not for me to call you Terry. It's for watch this, but I can see your fruit. I know your thinking. And the most I can do is what God told me to do. Just keep teaching you. Hopefully you'll get out of that state of mind and grow towards the Lord. Or you remain in your state and you remain doomed. So watch this. I want to do this. So watch this. The Bible says, so he's angry with him, right? He's 16. He says, we're at 17. He says what?
Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman who has known man intimately. But all the girls who have not known man intimately, spare for yourself.
So now you're going to do what? Since you brought him, here's God's mercy. See God's mercy? Since you brought him, here's God's mercy. But what you're going to do is what?
Kill every man.
Kill all
The remaining males, you're going to take them out. So watch this. Now you're going to kill every
Male of the little.
every woman.
Huh?
Mine reads, it says, therefore kill every male. Kill every male among the little ones.
Okay, so.
And kill every woman that has known man by lying.
So then what is he saying? And I hear you because I don't think you see it. So I hear you. So how do you see
He's
it?
saying keep the virgins.
Keep the virgins.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep the virgins.
Uh-huh.
Kill
Everyone else.
everyone.
Everything is what?
Loose.
You got it?
Everything that's what?
Loose.
Yeah, that's
Well, it says that scripture like this, that in Galatians.
Yeah, so then
But the
every.
part that we're trying to figure out is among the little ones, kill every male. Among the little
babies,
ones.
the babies, right?
Kill them.
Because that's an heir, right?
You got it.
It's an heir to
It will keep it going.
from the Midianites.
It's the same way with the Israelites. Did you carry, let's see, what was your last name? What was your last name?
What's my last name?
Your maiden name?
LeBlanc.
LeBlanc. What's your maiden name?
Carter.
So are you still a Carter? Are you still a LeBlanc?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
But no.
So you see what I'm saying? So it's gone, right?
Right.
So now you carry brothers. You carry.
Jackson.
You see what I'm saying? But watch this. But what if you?
Right.
See what I'm saying? You can't. Your name changes. So kill that which will keep something going. Kill it. And then every woman that has had, that's married, that's somebody that was married right. You got to do what to them too. Kill them too. But they didn't do nothing wrong. They have been what? They have been what? Oh, she's about to go. So then watch this. They had done what? That's deeper than that. Because they were with their husbands. They was right. They did right. They was with their husband. What's the issue?
Woman that has known man.
His thoughts are her thoughts.
Huh?
So his thoughts are her thoughts.
No, it's deeper than that. Go ahead. Where we at?
No, the loose women, you talking about loose
Yeah.
women? They cause the men to stumble.
Yeah, but there's a reason why you're killing. What about those that did, I mean, they did right, they were with their husbands.
Because you killed their husband, so they can come out.
It's deeper than that. And you know it.
They're carrying on the tradition of the meeting.
You're so close.
They can have children.
Have no other
Before me.
gods before me.
Right.
What have you been taught by your husbands?
They have these idols.
You've got idols. Kill, that's why you gotta go. You may be doing right, but you got an idol. You are following who? Your husband. Remember that was, it ain't like today, I ain't got it. Let it go, you want me to go, I ain't go. No. Then you followed your husband and you shut your mouth and followed your husband. Well, you've been introduced to idolatry. You gotta go.
What about the virgins? They have done their father.
Virgin is beyond virgin. That's where we're at, you see? Because watch this. She's a virgin, she's never been touched. Since she's never been touched, she has the ability to do what?
Change.
To change. Because she's going to do what? Take a husband. If she takes a husband, who she's going to take? One of the Israelites. What is he going to teach her?
About his God.
Right. So they're okay. They're innocent because she's going to teach them the right way. It's those that have been polluted. I told you, we say this, but if you really stop and think about it, look at these churches today. Polluted. Look at all this pollution going on. And then when they come over here, you know, when you try to talk to them, right? And what do you get? They struggling day and night. You're right. I text Sandy. Where is she? No, when you're polluted, you're not good. You don't get it. I don't see anything wrong with what I'm doing. But you're sitting here hearing this. No, what I'm sitting here is saying, yeah, those people ought to be ashamed of themselves. You never put it with you. You put it with those people ought to be ashamed of themselves. Because I'm going to the right church. I'm doing what's right. That's what he's talking about here. That's the same thought here. That's why you got to kill them. Because even if you bring them into your worship, don't you understand they're going to still do what? Drift back. This is boring. Yes. You don't realize it. That's why it's so hard for us today, because people are brainwashed. And you're trying to see if you can turn them over. I said, with the two of you all, stop and think about it. You made your decision.
You see, people are brainwashed, but it's a little deeper than that. They're brainwashed with the stigma of toxicity. They toxic.
Yes,
and
I like
just brainwashed, they toxic.
I like that.
And you got to cleanse them all the way.
Yes.
But you got to be ready for that cleansing.
Yes, they got to want.
Exactly.
They got to want that cleansing. God said, don't waste your time. They've been with this too long, this idol worship too long. Don't waste your time. Cut it out. Get rid of it. Cut it down. Shoot it down right now. Then you don't have to worry about trying to, you know, I'm steady. I've been talking to you for years, and y'all know what I'm talking about. You had some family folks you've been talking for years, and they won't come to the church. They're toxic.
Amen.
That's why I don't understand why they won't come. You know, you got close people that are close, that are dear to you, and they won't change. Why won't they change? Because they're toxic. It's in there, it's in their blood, it's in there now. And then whatever you say, it doesn't matter. It's, yeah, watch this, I'll say, yeah, you're right, yeah, I go, and then what? And then I go the other way. I said, as we went in this, I said, and then watch this, in my mind, this is getting a little meaty. This is getting a little deep. You're not going to want this. Because why? Because this talks about you. So you don't want to be here because it bothers your God. Your God says there's nothing wrong with how you worship. Just keep doing it. Your God said that you do speak in tongues. So your God said this. We're saying Scripture, and I've showed it. Scripture said it clears the bell, it was going to cease and it was going to be done away with. We got it. It makes sense to us because we understand what cease means. We understand what done away with. We got it. Clear the bell. Don't make us at all. Why? Because you weren't toxic. But when that junk is in you, and you're trying to get that out, that's a whole new infusion. Yeah, that's a whole new infusion that you have to do.